Thursday Night Live. I forgot what night it is. Thursday Night Live, Bass Fishing Live. We're just here to talk about fishing. I got turkey hunting on the brain. I was just saying, I don't know if you heard me. I was just saying I've been mad since this morning. Some old guy kind of was a smart aleck when I was walking into work this morning. I didn't get to tell you the story, Josh.
No, please do.
I didn't like it. So anyway, I thought, how would they feel if I punched an old man in the face? But I didn't. Anyway, got somebody watching here. Let us know where you're watching from. If you are joining us, like it, comment, share it on your page. We greatly appreciate it. We have a good guest coming on tonight, a young fella who just won $100,000. Can you imagine being 21 years old and winning $100,000?
Dude,
I'm 37.
At 18 years old, I'm blowing it.
What do you got behind your left shoulder there?
My father and me.
No, the other shoulder.
This one?
Yeah.
It's a picture not the picture.
Gave me. Yeah, the picture's lame. What's beside the picture? I don't know if it's a putter.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, what is that?
That's a trolling motor.
Okay, so I was gonna say I don't know if it's a putter or a trolling motor.
Gotcha. That I got for my John boat. Now I always take it off during the winter and bring it in and clean it up and everything. It's 45-pound thrust trolling motor, nothing fancy.
Nice. So we got Jonathan Lauren from Sylacauga, Alabama.
Thanks for joining.
Ellis and Key from Alabama. These are people of Hayden. Is it Marbut? Marbut?
I think it's Marbut.
Yeah. Marbut. Richmond, Kentucky. I wonder if that's our good friend Jimmy Carroll. We got a WhatsApp. Listen, if you're in a Facebook group, make sure you let us know where you're watching from. In just a few minutes, we do have a guest coming on. Josh, what's going on in the bass fishing world?
Right now, the Major League Fishing is fishing at I just forgot the name. Del Hollow.
Del Hollow. Right here in the great state of Kentucky.
One of our Kentucky
and half of it in
Tennessee. Sea lakes, and seen that the Group A just finished up today, and I can't remember who it was. Let me look at it real quick here in just a second. But the first place guy had caught 141 pounds.
That's pretty good.
In 2 days, and Drew Gill was behind him and took second place in the qualifying round. He caught 125 pounds. So.
Hey,
fishing good. Group B will finish up tomorrow, and then going into the knockout round.
So if you're watching from Kentucky, I've just not had my mind on bass fishing. One, it's rained all freaking week. Like, it has not stopped raining. I'm so sick of the rain. Two, listen, we're in Kentucky. We do three things really well. We have great fast horses. We have great tasting, knock you on your butt bourbon.
Yep.
And we have the greatest college basketball in the history of the world. And this week, we've been searching for a new coach. So my mind's been on basketball, finding a basketball coach. Not that I have anything to do with it, but that's what I've been consumed with it.
He's been consumed.
The other half is
his drive this week has been to start a lot of controversy.
I like to stir the pot on my Facebook page.
He does.
But look, I made a Facebook post the other day, and I'm in this bonus rewards program with Facebook because I have enough followers on my personal page. That one post made me $30. I mean, that's two meals at Cane's. That's 2 meals at Raising Cane's, which I had for lunch today. But the other thing that's consumed my mind is we have 20 to 25 dudes showing up this Saturday to turkey camp, and we're going to be turkey hunting. And in the middle of turkey hunting, maybe midday, we'll do some fishing there. We're staying right on the lake. So I've been consumed. However, I was thinking today, Josh, we talked about next week getting together, maybe fishing on Saturday.
Yeah, if I'm able to, I definitely
I'm thinking if you can make it, instead of hitting our kayaks on the river, I think we can get the boat out.
Are you thinking Lake Cumberland?
No, I was thinking a lake about 35 minutes from here. That's very similar to Lake Bashir.
What's it called?
It's called Gist Creek. Some people call it Geist. I call it Gist.
I've never been
like
there.
Gist
Or if I just come up and stayed with you for the night, we could go. I've always wanted to go to what is that lake?
Cedar Creek.
Cedar Creek, yes.
Yeah. Well, Cedar Creek and Cumberland are both about an hour and a half.
Oh, okay. We can go around your place.
Creek's 35. So anyway, Cedar Creek.
Hey, by the way, real quick,
go for it.
So I'm gonna pull up a comment here. You can see actually this one here. This guy wants, I think it's Scott Butler, wants Rick Pitino at Kentucky. As you can see, it says Facebook.
Scott's high on his pain meds.
Probably. If
I've already said that about the Facebook user.
Oh, did you already say it?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I disregard.
Yeah. This guy says Gist has been slow. I don't know. It's just probably got the wrong people on there. You know what? Before I started hunting 4 years ago, I loved going fishing on the opening day of turkey season and the opening day of deer season because I had the lake to myself. I loved it. I remember going to Gist Creek. The first time I went to Gist Creek was opening day of deer season about 4 years ago. And it was before we started Eastern Outdoors, before we started Bass Fishing Lives, before anyone knew anything about us on the internet.
We were nobody.
I remember sitting in my truck and thinking, man, there's nobody here. And I was like, oh, they're deer hunting. And so now I prefer to deer hunt.
What day was it on? Was it November or was it in April?
It was opening day of rifle season. It wasn't September.
Okay, and now you would never catch you on the lake on opening weekend of any season. Now, see, so we're gonna be up near Cave Run, actually staying right on Cave Run. So
Cave Run Lake.
I'm gonna be hunting turkeys with Mike in the morning, and then once it gets around noon, I'm gonna hit the lake, bass fish for a while. And then I'm gonna go back out there.
Hanging out with the guys.
I'll hang out with the guys at night when everybody's around the campfire. I'm going.
Cave Run Lake, not known for bass fishing. Actually, pretty poor bass fishing lake. However, crappie and muskie. It's a great muskie.
Yeah, somebody was
telling me it's the best muskie lake. I have an animal scratching at the door. It's the best muskie lake in the South, if you consider Kentucky the South. So yeah. I think we have our guest here, Josh. You ready to bring him on?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll let you introduce him here. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Hayden, how's it going, man?
How's it going, guys?
Hayden, it's a little hard to hear you.
Yeah. He's got headphones on.
Is Hayden on? Is he preparing for his next tournament this weekend?
Yeah, I am. So. Hold on one second.
Hey, Hayden, I think it might be where you had your phone, the speed, like the mouthpiece of the phone down on something. You know what I mean?
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sweet. I think if you just turn your phone sideways instead of putting it straight up and down, we could hear you better. Because I do that sometimes too. Yeah, there we go. That's good.
Much better.
Hear me all right?
Oh yeah, perfect.
There it is. Hey, I have to do that with him all the time. He'll be cooking and I'll FaceTime him. And his phone will be down, and like half his words go out, and I can't hear.
Yeah, because the bottom of the phone is muffled. Yeah, absolutely.
So Hayden, what's up, man? How's it going? What are you up to?
Pretty good. I'm sitting here in the boat, getting ready to go to Kentucky Lake in the morning. Got another college event up there next week, so we're about to get on the road.
Okay, Kentucky Lake. Where y'all launching from?
We're going out of Paris.
Okay. I live probably 30 minutes from Barkley. 45 to an hour from Kentucky Lake. So that's in my neck of the woods. I didn't know y'all were heading up here this weekend.
Oh, he's frozen. How far are you from the Paris boat ramp, Josh?
Paris, that's quite a drive because I've got to go all the way down to Tennessee and then all the way across to Paris. So it takes me like an hour and 20 minutes to get to Paris.
Are you there, Hayden? Okay,
yeah, can y'all hear me? I cut out for a second.
You know something I just thought of that just sucks is that arguably our two best lakes in Kentucky Lake, and I'm including Kentucky and Barkley, and Dale Hollow, we share with Tennessee.
Yeah,
I never thought of that. They get to share, and honestly, Tennessee side does more work on Kentucky Lake than Kentucky does. So
Yep.
More power to them. So, hey, you just came up. I know it's April here. I guess you're a couple months removed from a big, probably the biggest bass fishing win of your life. Is that?
Oh,
he had enough. See, this is what happens when I bring Josh on.
I tell you, man, I'm excited to talk to him because he's been successful at every level. He's won a national championship at the high school level, national championship twice at the college level. Now he's winning. Well, I'll let him tell you.
He's from Alabama.
Yeah, I think Lake Guntersville is his home.
Yeah, it is. I was reading that earlier. So, these bass fishermen are hard to pin down. How many guys have we had on the show where they're working on tackle, they're parking, they're doing something in their boat, right? They're always getting ready. They're hard to pin down.
We had remember we had Jordan Lee on.
Jordan Lee is one of the
following him around his garage as he
Jordan,
was doing that.
One of the top 5 bass anglers in the world, Jordan Lee. We caught him while he was rigging up his rods and reels.
And then Iaconelli completely forgot about us and showed up before 10 minutes before it was ending. Yeah. And then it went another hour, which was
the greatest show we've ever had.
It is. It was an
Iaconelli show. Was it 2 weeks ago? The greatest.
It was
show
so much fun. It was, and he's just he knows so much.
So we got to get the people in the comments going. They're quiet on us tonight.
Yeah, they are.
Dylan Hayden is back. I've called him Dylan twice.
It's funny you say that because, and I think you may have said it to me, and then subconsciously I was making a post with his name the other day, and I put Dylan.
Oh man, that's what I thought. Hayden, you good?
Yeah, I'm good now. I can hear you. I don't know what happened. It was going all crazy.
Hey, it's all good, brother. We were saying that, a lot of times when we have bass fishermen on the show, and we do 2 shows. We have a hunting show on Tuesday, which we've been doing for 4 years. Bass fishing show is new. Bass fishermen are just hard to pin down. You guys are always working. It's just always something, always practicing, always working on your equipment, always doing something. And so you're out there in your boat right now. Josh was saying we interviewed Jordan Lee. He was in his boat rigging up his rods and reels. 2 weeks ago, Mike Iaconelli came on, which was a fantastic show, but he was 48 minutes late. And so, you guys are just hard to pin down, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Always a busy lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This time is like July or June, July, like when it's hot. Sometimes they go up north, but that's a good time. And then dead of winter. Like November is the best time, but, nobody really cares about bass fishing. Especially in the north. You don't do it at all.
Right. So, Hayden, give us a background on you, just who you are, where you're from, and just everything you've done with fishing and everything, just to kind of give the viewers a background on you.
Just a little introduction.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm Hayden Marbut. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I've kind of grown up fishing, done the whole stepping stones through Bassmaster and MLF, high school fishing, college fishing now, and now starting to get my feet wet in some Toyotas and stuff like that. Just fishing my whole life. That's really all I've ever done.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're at Auburn University.
Yes, sir.
So every time we have somebody from Alabama, we always ask them War Eagle or Roll Tide. So that's obvious, I guess.
Oh, yeah. War Damn Eagle.
There you go.
That's right.
Now, when it comes to bass fishing, Auburn is definitely the superior.
Ain't that where Jordan fished, right?
Both Lee brothers did there. There were others.
Yeah.
Steve Kennedy, that's a throwback. That's like a pioneer of Auburn. I don't know if he fished there, but he's a big Auburn guy. I don't know if they had college fishing when Steve was coming. He's old.
Hayden, I was going to ask you just to kind of kick everything off. So you were the 2020 high school national champion, and did you fish that with bass during the classic?
I fished it. What do you mean during the classic?
Did you fish the tournament? And because I could have swore I seen photos of you on the classic stage or something. Because I know.
Yeah. So. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I was curious about if that's where kind of everything took place.
Yeah, so Tucker Smith and I won the national championship 2020, which allowed us to get to do some of the festivities of the classic, and we actually got to lead the boats out at Lake Ray Roberts out when the classic was at Fort Worth a couple years ago.
Awesome.
Where did you stage and stuff like that?
What lake did you win that on?
It was on Kentucky Lake.
It was on Kentucky. Well, it sounds like you've got a lot of experience on Kentucky. So, when I first got here, I'm sure you've heard about all the Asian carp and everything that goes on Kentucky Lake, and they've done a pretty good job. Because 6 years ago when I first got here, fishing was awful, man. It was terrible, or at least it was for me.
It was for him.
That's what for me. But
Mark Menendez was still crushing it out there.
And then a couple years ago, man, they put out all those nets, and I think Tennessee Wildlife and Kentucky Wildlife was doing a lot together to kind of, I wouldn't say eliminate the carp problem, but help
control
it, reduce the population. And fishing's got a lot better. The smallmouth out there is awesome now. So are you ledge fishing out there? Are you beating the banks? What's your, because I know Kentucky Lake's notorious for ledge fishing, but I've heard that fish nowadays kind of stay on secondary points compared to main lake ledges.
Yeah, so it's April. The fish are all thinking about spawning. I'm primarily going to fish for smallmouth spawning, probably, just because I feel like that's like the most consistent way I can fish to catch a good bag both days.
Yeah, for sure. I've had a lot of luck in April flipping buckbrush, but the water's got to get up quite a bit, which it did just rain the last 3 days, so I'd say it's up some. Man. And
non-stop rain.
What is it?
It's a non-stop rain. Hey, the smallmouth fishing, I've not personally experienced, but I've seen guys like Jason Sealock who, he just retired, I guess, from Wired to Fish. But he catches a ton of smallmouth out there. You see guys like Matt Robertson, Mark Menendez posted on their social media catching a lot. So, yeah, man, I think people are surprised at how well the smallmouth fishing is going there. So not a bad plan, but there's going to be some good bags there. What was your winning bag when you your best day when you won down in Guntersville a couple months ago?
In the Toyota, I think it was 25-3 or 25-4 or something.
Yep.
So that's from what I've seen, that's probably what it's going to be at Kentucky Lake, I would assume. Something close to that to win it is what I'm saying. But, man, I was talking before you got on here. You won at Guntersville, and we'll talk about that. We'll go deeper into that. But my first question is, what does a junior in college do with $100,000?
I have no idea, honestly. I can't really wrap my head around how much money that is.
I know. And I think you said in the article I was reading, like, I don't fish for the money, but the money's nice.
Yeah. I definitely at your age. Yeah, at your age, I would have definitely blown it for sure.
No, he's got to put it back into his boat.
I'm
put
older.
It back into his gear.
If I was in your position with my mind now, I would immediately, if I owed on the boat, that's the first thing I'd do is pay it off.
Yeah, I'll definitely put a chunk down and pay for a good bit of it, but I don't know if I'll pay the whole thing off. I don't want to blow through it quickly.
Right. I got you. I seen you.
Oh, man.
I seen you post, I think it was today, about didn't you post about a boat for sale? Was that you that posted about a boat for sale?
No, that wasn't. Not me, no.
I've seen that somewhere. I thought it was you. I was curious if you had like a tie to one of the boat dealerships or something, if maybe you already picked up a sponsor, because the way you're going, it's going to happen. And what's the goal, the end goal?
Just to fish for a living. I'm not picky about which trails or anything like that. I feel like if I can do that, I'll be pretty happy.
Oh yeah, for sure. So what was it? So you fished the Classic. Me and John, we went to the Classic in Knoxville, and then we also went in South Carolina. What lake was that, John?
Hartwell.
Hartwell, yeah.
There it is.
I was going to say Santa Cooper. Yeah, it was Hartwell.
I forget the name of it every time. It never fails. But, we went, and our first time was in South Carolina, and we were just doing media coverage stuff, interviewing anglers, and I got to stay on near the stage and do some recording and stuff and watch them weigh in. And dude, it was eye-opening of how big a deal the Classic was. So you were probably 17 when you were doing the Classic festivities?
Yeah, I think I was 17. It was pretty cool just to get up there on that stage and just to see it all and kind of go through all the stuff the anglers go through all week. It was cool. It was super inspiring. And, there's nothing that'll light a fire up under you like the Classic. There's nothing really else like it.
Did you get introduced by Big Dog Mercer?
Yeah, we got up on stage and talked to Mercer, and we had a good time. It was fun.
I'll tell you, Mercer, I think he's definitely overlooked because, one, when he announces, he doesn't use notes or anything like that. He just goes off, his brain. And honestly, I think he is one of the best announcers / commentators out there, dude. He is very, very good.
No doubt.
All right, dude, I want to get into your tournament win and kind of talk about that. No doubt, probably, I guess. I mean, monetarily the biggest win of your life, but Josh was saying you've won a high school national championship, you've won a national championship with Auburn, you won this tournament at Guntersville. Take the money out of it, take kind of making your way up from high school, college, and what I would consider. The Toyota Series is I feel like bass fishing is like baseball. I don't know if you're a baseball fan, Hayden, but I feel like bass fishing is like Major League Baseball. You have the pros, but you have the AAA, and you have the farm system coming up. What's been the most fulfilling win for you? Which one have you enjoyed the most?
The college one was super cool just because I looked up to a bunch of guys.
That's
and
what I
watched
would
a
think.
bunch of guys like Cole Floyd winning the college national championship and stuff like that, growing up through high school. And then, but Guntersville is probably the most special just because I've grown up fishing up there every summer, and every day on my run down the river, I was passing my great grandparents' lake house, where I've stayed,
nice.
Every summer and fished and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was just it was kind of emotional. Just running down the river that last day, that's kind of what I've always dreamed of, is being in that position on that lake, and for it to work out the way it did, it was awesome.
Yeah, I read that you said, and it reminded me of something Jacob Wheeler said a few years back. You said you've probably idled every inch of that lake, and you can just recall where everything is. I guess looking at your graphs, where every landmark, every rock, every point, everything is there. And you had a huge advantage just, I guess, growing up there, spending thousands of hours there fishing that lake. Huge advantage for you. Did you feel that way coming in, or did it kind of add more pressure because you knew it so well?
So majority of my time spent out there has been in the summertime. I love ledge fishing. That's my favorite way to fish, and that's what I do all summer, every summer. All of June and July and August and May, June, July, August. I stay up there majority of the time and ledge fish. So I felt confident. Just I knew where everything was and how it kind of set up. But I hadn't fished up there a ton in the springtime. I had some and crap and stuff like that. But I went up there some over Christmas break, just kind of practicing and looking around, just a little bit, and figured out some deals, live scoping and stuff like that. And that kind of ended up carrying on and carrying into the tournament, which working out for me.
Hey, let me. If you're in the comments and watching, hold on just a second, Josh. If you're watching, Hayden here is, he won this on Guntersville, grew up there. A lot of people fish those Tennessee River system lakes. So if you have questions about that, put them in here. I'm sure Hayden doesn't care to answer a few, or just general bass fishing questions. I'll go ahead and tell you, Hayden is a forward-facing sonar whiz, from what I can tell. We've had a couple of those on in the past, like Drew Gill. The article I read talked about both of these guys. He's in the group of these young, up-and-coming fishermen that are ready to take on take on these older guys that are complaining about technology, and while you guys are stealing their money from them. So if you have questions, make sure you ask.
Hey, also, one question. Whoever it was said he's shopping at Moorhead Walmart. I went by my Walmart today. They didn't have any chatterbaits. If you could, pick me up 2 3/8-ounce not chatterbaits. Just 2 of them. I'll bring you some cash. They don't have to be jackhammers. They can be the originals. I don't care. Just 2.
You know what? You asked me if I had any chatterbaits, and I said, yeah, but mine are jackhammers, and I'm not giving those to you.
Why not?
You can buy them. You can buy them from me. They're just too expensive, dude.
How much? How much we talking? You gonna discount it for your brother?
No, because I have to replace them. What would you do, Hayden? Should I give him?
Hayden, you don't.
If I have any original chatterbaits, you can have them. Every one of them, which I don't think I do. But the jackhammers I gotta keep. Sorry. Are you on my side, Hayden? Don't you agree?
If you will give me,
I agree. Jackhammers are high. You can't just be throwing those around for free.
Hey,
I mean, they're like $19.99.
Hayden, the thing is they're not worth anything if they're just sitting in your closet.
Hey, I told you next week.
Those things to use.
Listen, I'll go ahead and tell you. I was going to hold out. But next week, if you come, our buddy John said we should go to Cedar Creek, and he's just sending me picture after picture. That's probably like a 4 or 5 pounder right there. But he probably sent me 25 of those photos from Cedar Creek. So
have you fished any other lakes in Kentucky, Hayden?
No, just Kentucky Lake.
Just Kentucky.
Man, that's the best.
Curious, go ahead.
I fished Dale Hollow before. I guess that's kind of partly in Kentucky.
Yeah.
No, Hayden. It is fully in Kentucky. And I'll just tell you, Hayden, I don't know how much of it is in Tennessee, which is in Kentucky. However, I do know on the Kentucky side, Hayden, let me educate you. We have the world record smallmouth in Kentucky. Did you know that?
It's on the Kentucky side. It doesn't ever swim to the Tennessee side.
It never did. Hayden, I think it started in Tennessee, came to Kentucky and saw how great it was and stayed there. And it's the world record. So don't let anyone
you know
fool
what?
you.
I agree with John on the world record, but I have to say, I know Kentucky Lake is a great lake, Del Hollow, Lake Cumberland, but Tennessee's got us beat on the lakes.
They do, but
they do.
That's why we have to hold on to that world record. Hayden, do you know what the weight was for that world record?
Was it 11-14?
Ooh, you're off by 1 ounce, 11-15.
Yep, that's great.
Did you see that video that they put out the other day?
Something like that. I just couldn't remember exactly.
I saw a TikTok video. They were asking all the pros there this week if they knew the record. That's the only way I remembered it. So, can you imagine?
Can
you imagine going to Kentucky Lake and catching almost a 12-pound smallmouth this week? That's wild.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. So what we said earlier, we're doing turkey camp this weekend, and I'm the only one that's going to go fishing in the middle of the day.
It's a terrible lake.
And I love when people say that because I like a challenge. I like to go out and prove people wrong. And that's why I'm telling them to pick me up some chatterbaits for this weekend. However, the lake is going to be muddy because of all the rain we've got. It's going to be very, very muddy. If you were going to a lake that was very muddy, you never fished before, didn't know anything about it, what would be your approach?
I'd probably wait for cleaner water, honestly. Any water running in still from the storms and stuff like that. Clear water, just current, anything like that.
What baits would you be throwing?
Depending on the conditions, if there's some wind and some clouds, probably a spinnerbait and a chatterbait.
Spinnerbait? Yeah, I love a spinnerbait too. And it's John, he likes to use he's big on like Ned rigs and things like that. Likes finesse fishing. I'm more of a power fisherman, I guess, which I use a lot of the soft plastics as well, but I love to throw crankbaits. I love spinnerbaits, chatterbaits, all that stuff. It's just you can cover so much more water. You can fish so much faster. I love and that's kind of leading into it. You talked about ledge fishing is basically your favorite way to fish, and I've heard a lot of guys your age say it because let's face it, forward facing younger guys are very good at it because they kind of came up with it in a way. And
they grew up on video games.
And I'm curious what like on Kentucky, what kind of baits are you like if you have suspended fish, because Fort Fason's really changed the game with suspended fish, top of treetops and stuff like that. What are you throwing, like, because Kentucky's pretty clear? Are you throwing jerk baits, crank baits? What are you looking at throwing while you're fishing on Kentucky if they're kind of suspended?
Probably the Mickey rig or jerk bait. But majority of the time, the Mickey rig. If they're suspended, especially around bait and stuff like that, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably going to throw a Mickey rig.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people that would definitely be their answer for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't have any. I went and looked through. I have two containers here, a bunch of baits in. I don't have any chatter baits. I might have some out in the garage, but I do have these Shimano. Well, Omnia and Shimano sent us.
Yeah.
These this is the first time I've actually looked at them, but I do have these crankbaits. So
bring them.
This is like a rattle trap. This is like their version of the rattle trap. So I don't know. That one might be good in the muddy water. I don't know.
It looks like it looks almost like a fritz side, like a flat side crankbait.
Yeah, maybe that is what it's like. I don't listen.
Have you used those before, Hayden?
I haven't used any Shimano's, no.
Yeah, these are all new ones that they've come out with. See, Josh, if Josh does catch a fish this week, Hayden, here's the thing. I'm bringing him a brand new Shimano reel, Shimano rod, and some Shimano bait, some Shimano lures to use. So if he uses that and catches it, is it real? Shouldn't I get the credit? Right? I mean, I'm providing him with all the tools. All he has to do is cast and reel. So with not,
so you're saying
if not for me, he wouldn't catch anything.
So are you saying that these anglers that win $100,000, all they have to do is cast and reel? That's what they do?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, for you, but
so Hayden, what's next? So you're fishing Kentucky Lake coming up this weekend. When are you coming up to start practice?
I'm leaving in the morning.
That's what I figured. Yeah. So you get one day of practice before it kicks off.
It starts on Wednesday. So tournament's Wednesday and Thursday. So I'll have 3 or 4 days.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That's good.
So Hayden also said that so you're a junior, you're going to stay in school 2 more years, right? Are you still sticking to that plan?
We'll see. I'm probably going to try to finish my degree online and just fish some more.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like you are practicing fishing tournaments every week. College bass fishing has really become like just an incredible sport, right? I mean, you don't even have time for school. You got time for like 2 classes a semester. Have you ever thought about just dropping out? I'm not encouraging you to, but I mean, you just won $100,000. I've got 3 degrees, Hayden, so I'm all for college. But I mean, come on.
No, but I wouldn't drop out. I'm only like 38 hours from graduating now.
Okay, so don't drop out. I'm not telling you to drop out. I'm just saying that you think about it.
I'm definitely about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the good old man here and say, definitely finish your degree.
No, for sure he should. Always. I'm just asking. He's out there.
Back up because I mean, to be honest, you're obviously on the right track at every level so far. You've been very successful, and I literally have 0 doubts that you're going to end up in either Bass Pro Tour or you're going to end up on the Elite Series. It's going to happen. But even though it's still, you just never know. You never know. So having that degree what's your degree in?
It's in marketing.
Say that again.
Marketing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're kind of breaking up on us a little. Your I don't know if it's your speaker or what, or your
yeah.
My house here in Auburn's like 20 minutes off campus in the middle of the woods, so I probably don't have very good signal.
Hey, if you can be in the middle of the woods and still 20 minutes from campus, that's perfect.
Oh yeah, no, it's nice. I needed somewhere to keep my boat where I can walk out here in this little shed out here and work on tackle. I didn't want to be stuck up in an apartment or dorm or anything like that.
No way.
2 comments here that I've first 2 comments I've liked tonight. Nah, Josh got skill. You don't, John. Scott.
Hold on a second. Scott, you're reading a comment from a guy who had knee surgery, and he's probably high on oxycodone right now.
Well, second, I just seen some pictures the other day of Butler, and he was catching some fish. So
yeah, those are old.
yeah,
Those are
and
old.
then
That's when he was friends with those guys.
Got 2 degrees, 1 in cosmetology, 1 in BSing.
Listen, you put an intelligence test before me and Scott Butler. Come on.
If Scott Butler was coming to camp, we would have a competition between Scott and John. And we do, are you smarter than a 5th grader?
I taught 5th grade for 11 years. So now I don't. So Hayden, let's Josh mentioned, you'll have 2 options. You can go to the Bass Pro Tour on MLF. You'll probably have a chance to go and fish the Elite Series with Bassmaster. If you had to choose, what format do you like? Do you like keeping recording every fish you catch over 2 pounds, or you like recording your best 5?
I think they both shine for different reasons. I don't know. 5 fish is fun just because that's the way we've all kind of grown up fishing. But the every fish counts format's really fun too. We fished college face-off a couple weeks ago against Alabama, and we had the marshals in the boat weighing our fish and everything like that. It was a blast. It was fun getting updates and everything like that. It's intense. It's a whole different game whenever you're getting updates every couple minutes. Someone just caught one. Someone just caught one. You get kind of get a feel for it and adjust, and you can make decisions kind of based off what other people are doing and how things are going throughout the day. Your decision making is a little bit different, but it's cool.
Now listen, you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. But MLF over the last 2 or 3 years, especially this year, there's been a lot of controversy going on amongst the anglers and the owner and everything. And it seems like Elite Series don't have that as much. It doesn't seem like, or maybe it's just not broadcasted as much. So could you see yourself? Do you care if you had to pick? Would you pick Elite Series or would you pick MLF, the Bass Pro Tour?
Either. I try to stay out of all the drama.
Smart man.
Man, you knew that answer before you ask. Going back to just talking about the different formats, Drew Gill, I thought, made a great point when we talked to him. He said, some guys in the 5 big fish, 5 best format, you're going for those home runs. So some guy might just catch 8 fish and he's weighing in his 5 biggest. But, if you are fishing every fish counts format, every fish over 2 pounds or what have you, and you dominate those fish for the weekend, he said, who really knows the lake better? Like, who really did a better job fishing? The guy that caught 8 and kept his 5 biggest, or the guy that caught 75 and, won the tournament? So I just thought that was a good point. But certainly when you get to a level like that, those guys can do either, right? Like the guys that catch all of them, for the most part, they're going to excel at both.
Yeah. No doubt. And I don't know. I feel like for my generation, with electronics and everything like that, the MLF format benefits these younger guys a little bit more than it does the older guys that have, grown up flipping a jig or doing whatever, fishing for 5 bites. And there's nothing wrong with that. I love fishing for 5 bites,
right?
5 big ones, but it's hard to change the way you fish after you've done it for so long and go to an every fish counts format. And I feel like that's why you see a lot of these guys complaining.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
I can see that. What are you? So obviously, like John said, you growing up, you were just you dealt with sonar a lot of forward facing and stuff like that. I posted the other day and was kind of brought up, there's Garmin Live Scope, there's Lowrance, Active Target, and then Hummingbird's got the Mega Live. And, they kind of all 3 are similar, but they're also different. Like I know one guy that runs Live Scope on one screen, and then he runs Mega 360 on the other. So he's got that kind of perspective of, where the fish are on the bottom in 360, and then kind of where they're at in the column or whatever, just curious. Cause then another guy I talked to said he did that. And then he switched over to 2 live scopes, running live scope on one, just, like the forward facing, and then running perspective on the other. Cause he said perspective was faster and he could see the fish move a lot quicker if it was behind a rock over here and it moved, 15 feet, 20 feet to the left. He was seeing it much quicker than he was on 360. What units are you running on your boat?
So I've got a 12-inch Garmin, a 12-inch Lowrance, and a 12-inch Humminbird up front. I got 360
okay.
and then live scope, and then at the console I just run a 12-inch Lowrance and a 12-inch Lowrance and a 12-inch Humminbird. But going back to the perspective's cool, and that's something that I need to get and play with some more. But from what I hear, you can't, while it is live, whenever you get past 12, 14 foot, it's not quite as clear. And that image starts to suffer, and that's where 360 plays a little bit better whenever you're in that 20 to 25 foot range.
Okay, I got you. Now the batteries you're using as well affect that too, right?
Yeah, no. If you're not getting over 12.6 volts to each unit, your image is going to suffer significantly. I run impulse lithium batteries. I've got 160 amp hour cranking battery. It runs all 5 units and transducers and everything like that. I never have a unit that goes below 13 volts all day. So I'm always getting optimal voltage so I can get the best picture possible.
Right. Yeah. I had a buddy that actually we talked about it today. He fishes, the only place he fishes is Kentucky Lake. He lives, eats, and breathes it. He does every weekend. Sometimes if he's off during the week, that's what he's doing. He's going to Kentucky Lake. And one of his batteries went kaput on him. And it was a lithium battery. I said, well, how much did you pay for it? And he said, I paid $800 for it. And I was like, wow, that's a lot for a battery. But then he said, yeah, but it comes with a 10-year warranty. And I was like, and I guess that kind of pays off in the long run. I couldn't imagine having a 10-year warranty on a battery. He literally just had one go out and they're already sending him a new battery. So I thought it was pretty cool, that they go out that far. Kind of like St. Croix with their fishing rods. It's like, I think 5 years is the warranty on my rods. So
yeah, and you've broken about 10 of them.
I broke 5.
That's about 10. Sorry, I was on my phone because it looks like Kentucky's going to hire Mark Pope as their new coach.
Somebody just said if they hire Mark Pope, I'm entering the transfer portal.
My goodness.
Yeah, and hey, so are you a basketball, football guy at all, Hayden?
Not really, no.
No,
he doesn't have time, man.
I was going to ask you because Bruce Pearl, basketball coach at Auburn, there's been a lot of talks of Kentucky reaching out to hire him now that we got rid of our basketball coach. I was going to ask you how you felt about it, but you probably don't care.
I'm the wrong guy to ask about anything about sports. I don't pay attention to none of that.
Yeah, I will say Alabama has fantastic bass fishing. Could probably argue one of the top 3 states. I mean, obviously California, Texas, just as many lakes they have. But they have the best football. So it would be hard to be in Alabama and not pay attention to football too. Unless, I guess, you just spend every weekend on the water. That's the best way to get away.
Well, Gerald Swindle.
Gerald Swindle is a big Bama fan.
Yeah, he loves watching Bama play. And
I bet he played football because he can barely get up out of his boat with his knees.
He was talking about it in a podcast. He played football.
Yeah, he can barely walk. Watch him.
Yeah.
I don't know how he stands on the deck for 12 hours a day.
So how many years of college you say you have left, Hayden?
I'll be a senior next year, but it'll probably take me a 5th year just as much as I've fished. I hadn't been around. Like, I just got back to Auburn 2 days ago after not being here for like 12 days, and then I'm about to leave for a week and come back for 2 days, and then those will be like the last 2 days I'm here all year.
I gotcha. Yeah, you said you was thinking about switching to online.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go online next year.
He's already online. You've probably been online the whole time you've been there, haven't you?
No, I'm not in person. Like, I miss so much.
Listen, I'll tell you, I go to the University of Maryland, and I'm finishing my associates right now, about to start my bachelor's. took me 10 years to get there, but I've did all online, and it has been fantastic. It's not hard. It's nothing. As long as you do your work, you're going to pass, basically. If I was you, online I think is definitely, with as much as you fish and everything, I think online would be great because it's going to ultimately be the same outcome. I mean, yeah, you're not going to be probably at the school all the time, doing the college thing, but I get a sense you don't really care about that. You just want to be on the water.
Yeah. I don't do most of the college things.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I was like, man, he's in Auburn. It's probably really hard balancing the fishing with school, going to parties. And I thought, wait, he's only 20 years old. He's probably not doing any partying. So
he does have family.
Good time. We got a fun team.
I mean, yeah, most people that are spending a lot of time on the water also find ways to have a good time. So
we got Buddy Bowers here. Did I say that right? Buddy Bowers. He said, "You the man, Hayden." Do you know who that is?
Hayden's got a fan club on here.
Me and his friends fished each other through high school fishing, so we fished against each other a bunch.
All right. So what started did you just grow up fishing on Guntersville? Was it just since you were a kid? Is that how it kind of got started? Was there a certain family member or something that was fishing that you'd go out with? What kind of got you into just loving fishing and then obviously turning into like, man, I want to do this for a living?
Yeah, so I always fished a little bit, and my dad fished a couple of little tournaments and stuff like that, And so he kind of like introduced me to it, but he never like pressed it on me or anything like that. And I just kind of found it on my own, just hopping around fishing ponds and stuff like that. And then, I saw the high school fishing deal, and I was like, this is pretty cool, and just kind of dove straight into that, and just been rolling with that ever since.
Okay. Yeah, I think I need to talk to your dad because I got an 8-year-old, and yesterday I went out and shot my 12 gauge, and he went with me. And then our neighbor's boy came out. I went and got him, and he shot his little 22. And I told him, I said, hey, and the little boy didn't have headphones, so I gave him my headphones while we were shooting. And the purpose of my son going was to shoot the 12 gauge. I had little 2 3/4 inch shells, and after he seen me shoot it, he refused to get behind the gun and shoot it. Like, refused. He was scared. And I kept saying, hey, it's okay. It's not going to hurt. You'll be fine. I'll help you out. And he was refusing. And I was like, no, you're going to shoot this gun. You came up here. You're going to shoot it. And then he got real upset, so I just left it alone. But I'm super bad for pushing on him. So I need to talk to your dad because it sounded like it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, no, I've got an 8-year-old little half brother, and I try to press the fishing on him, but my dad's like, just don't worry about it. He'll find it if he wants to do it. So I guess I need to quit pressing it on him.
Yeah.
I saw today Scotty Scheffler, who is #1 ranked golfer in the world. They asked him kind of the same question. He's like, my parents didn't really care about golf, right? They wanted me to do good in school. They didn't care about golf, and I was quiet at it. Or I was good at it. Somebody said quiet. I read it. I was good at it, so they took me to tournament. So there you go. If you push them, they'll just run from it. It won't be fun for them. That's why my daughter's not playing softball this year. She got tired of me yelling at her.
That's like with any passion. You got to find it on your own.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. That's what makes it more special too. When you find it on your own, do it yourself, and just that you're an expert at what you're doing. You know what you're talking about. That just makes it so much better. It really does.
Yeah, because if you get pressed into anything, you're not going to have the love for it and the drive to go and do it and, work hard enough to actually pursue it at a higher level.
Yeah. Veronica Key, she said, we are super proud of this young man. I assume you probably know who that is well. Who is that?
Oh, yeah. It's my aunt and uncle's neighbor.
Oh, okay.
I guess not neighbor anymore, but.
I got you.
There you go.
Heck yeah.
All right. Well, fellas, I'm going to have to hop off here. Hayden, it was great meeting you. And, hopefully as you continue to grow in the sport And that's a cue right there. My light just went off. As you continue to grow and win, and you and these young guys come up, hopefully we can continue to have you on, and you continue to find success and represent Auburn and your family and do really well. We're pulling for you.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
absolutely, man. We'll definitely reach back out. We'd love to have you back on. Like I said in our post, you're a rising star in the bass fishing world. Man. It's going to be. I'd see great things coming, as they already have. Great things already happening. I think they're going to continue to happen for you. So, thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate it, man. We definitely.
Hey, good luck at Kentucky Lake. We'll be keeping an eye on you. Be safe out there. That lake can get crazy sometimes.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank y'all.
All right, man. We appreciate you. Thanks for everybody that watched. We do this every Thursday night. This is new, trying to build it. We have everyone from young guys like Hayden and guys that have been doing it for 30 years, like Mike Iaconelli a couple weeks ago. So check us out. We appreciate you. Follow the page, and everyone have a good week. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.